So welcome everybody. Welcome to the General Assembly, the fifth session. And today is 24th August 2020. And I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're joining from. And welcome to the COVID-19 Scholar Peer Hub. So it's a pleasure for us to have you here. And I would like to welcome my colleagues from the scholar team, Alain, Ian Steed, and the panelists, Doreen Imanyara, Dr. Chilunga Puta, and Martha Nago. Welcome all of you. It's a pleasure to have you here today. And so I would like to go through the agenda with you. So today what we're going to do is check that how you are, whether you're up to date with your exercise 1. And in the participant presentations that we're going to have on the peer review, we're going to ask you to share your screen if possible and walk us through one peer review of one of your peers' projects. And what we would expect you to do is to share the feedback that you've given to the author and how the feedback would help the author in improving his or her project. And the fifth item in the agenda is to brief you on what will happen next week. So I would like to request you all, if you have any messages, then we want you to type them into the chat box and make sure that you select the option of all panelists and attendees. For any questions that you might have, you need to type into the Q&A box, and you can also vote for the best questions, and you can also comment on the questions. The other thing which is really important, and as you all would know, is to join your country Skype group. So how do you do it? What you do is sign into Skype at www.skype.com, and then you click on the video button and start the call. And if you join after the start of the call, all you need to do is join call, or just click on to join call. So how has last week been? Well, 369 of you have already submitted the initial draft of your project. So congratulations to you all. And it seems like almost 88% of you who joined Peer Grade submitted the projects, which is great, but we encourage the rest of you to also submit them and reach out to us if you haven't. Please do not suffer in silence if you're having any challenges. So these are the names of the scholars who have submitted the initial draft of their project. Congratulations to you all. As you can see, the list is like really long, but it's great. We feel really proud that you all were able to do this, given to your busy schedules. As I said, if you were unable to submit your project before Friday, so it's still not late to catch up now. As Rada loves to say, and as we love to say, do not suffer in silence. You should seek support from us. And you can submit your project now, even if it's not perfect, because you know that it is the initial draft of your project. And once you submit, you would be able to participate in the peer review, which has proven to be one of the best ways to learn from the scholar. So basically, the scholar team is not going to be correcting or giving you feedback, but it is your peers who are going to be doing that. And so this is the link, and you can still, as I said, join in and submit your project. You have to go to Peer Grade. You know that's the platform that we're using for you to submit the initial draft of your project. And it is for your certification, you need to submit the initial draft. You need to do the peer review. So we'd encourage you to reach out to us and let us know if you're having any challenges or if you still haven't joined. Now, 531 scholars submitted the first Peer Hub report. Again, this was mandatory. So those who still haven't done it, we encourage them to please submit the first Peer Hub report. That's your feedback. It's very important to us. And the results would be shared soon. And for those who have already submitted the Peer Hub report, congratulations to all of you. So the objective of the week, so what we did was, you know that there are objectives that we have defined week by week, and we're already into week 3, which is from August 24th to 28th. So the good news is this week, your focus is on the peer review, and you just have to do 3 peer reviews. That is, submit 3 peer reviews of your peers' project that you would have received in peer grade. And this again is mandatory. You need to do that for your certification. And the one goal, as I said, is 3 peer reviews. So those who've already done it, congratulations, it's great. Those who haven't, you don't have to worry because the deadline is midnight Friday. That is before midnight Friday, 28th August, Geneva time. So don't panic. You just have to do these 3 peer reviews and you'll be done for the week. So to tackle with any challenges, what in the context of COVID-19, your peers are depending on your commitment as you depend on theirs. So therefore, in the peer review, we request you to honor the reciprocal commitment of doing peer reviews. And we would request you to also give constructive feedback, which your peers can actually use, and it would help them improve upon their projects. And please guide them. The idea of the peer review is to guide them and not to be critical, but to be supportive and to give constructive feedback. So here's the link for the peer review. You can watch and you can go on to the learning.foundation, where you have all the instructions on how to do peer reviews in case you still haven't done them. And if you still have problems, please reach out to us. And in peer grade, how to do peer reviews, here's the link. You can also watch the tutorial, which is again on learning.foundation. And I'm sure you'll find it really useful. And as one of the scholars, Emmanuel, said, that there are a lot of people who are actually scholar alumni, and they're there to help you. You can ask your peers in Telegram, you can ask your country group members or peers, or you can reach out to us. And you can also join the daily technical sessions with Alain if you have any technical issues with peer grade. He conducts the sessions from Tuesday to Friday at 11 a.m. Geneva time, and they are fantastic. So you must join in if you have a problem. But in case you're busy, we know that you all have pressing priorities and jobs, and you may not be able to attend the session. So what you can do is go on to learning.foundation again, and you can watch the videos of these sessions that are held every day from Tuesday to Friday. So the daily technical support sessions, as I said, with Alain Blaise Tatsinko, Tuesday to Friday. The purpose of the session is to solve problems or any technical issues that you may have in navigating through different platforms, which could be learning.foundation, or it could be peer grade, or it could even be the Ideas Engine. So do not suffer in silence. As I said, it is at 11 a.m. Geneva time. And the session is for 30 minutes, but as I said previously, that you can also watch the videos. Then, how do I know if I'm giving quality feedback? For that as well, we have a rubric, which I'm sure you guys already know about, but in case you're confused, I would love to show you. And the second thing that you can do is join the daily lightning sessions with François and Charlotte. And here's the link for the rubric in case you need to download it again, or there has been any issue, then please reach out to us. And if you have any confusion regarding the rubric. So this is the same rubric that you all used for the initial draft of your project. And I would like to show you the screen where I can show you where to go. So what you can do is go to Geneva Learning Foundation. Can you all see my screen? Please type in to the chat box if you can. So I'm assuming you all can. All right, I got a yes, thank you. So you go to Geneva Learning Foundation, go to the COVID-19 Peer Hub Exercise 1, and this is where you go. You scroll down and you see these are all the videos. In case you've missed anything, you can read up, and it's really cool and it's really simple. And I'm sure you won't have any problem in downloading anything from here or watching the videos. So there, okay. So I will stop, I think, all right. Share my screen again. There you go. Can you see my screen now? If you could just type in the chat box. Can you please type in the chat box? Unfortunately, I can't see the chat box, but I'm hoping that you all can see my screen now. So
yes,
there
Shalini,
you go.
sorry to interrupt you. You good to go?
Thank you so much. So I'm just showing where you can download the rubric from. It's the same place it's the same rubric that you used for your project, the initial draft of your project. And I'm showing this to you in case you have any confusion. All you need to do is go here, rubric for COVID-19 Peer Hub exercise. Then you can simply either watch the video first and then you can download it. And once you download it, then here's what you see. Can everybody see this now? Can you see the rubric? Are you able to view the rubric? Okay, Alain, I can't see the chat. Excellent.
Yes, Shalini, we are seeing the rubric, the PDF document.
Excellent. So this is a PDF document. If you all see that in the rubric, you all know that part 1 of the rubric is focus for action and prioritize one challenge, set a specific goal, and justify the focus. And here is the green part, which is for the reviewers. So what do you have to do? The instructions are right here. So what you need to do to know about the situation, to evaluate the challenge, whether it's the right priority, the goal is compelling and specific. So what you need to do is read through. Similarly, for part 2, take action, identify action steps, and take and map your next actions. So this is the part that you did in the initial draft of your project. And now the reviewers who are going to do the peer review, they have to look at the green section where it says, are there enough details for you to understand why and how these actions are best ones to achieve the goal stated in part 1? Are the proposed action steps clear on what, when, how, and who, and their outcomes? And if not, ask questions and suggest how to improve. So you have to, when you're doing this peer review, you're giving constructive feedback, and this is what you have to keep in mind. And then going to the part 3, you would see that you need to reference your work and cite your sources to strengthen your evidence. And here the reviewers highlight where the sources should be cited if they are not, and suggest on how to improve the citation of the sources, and suggest what type of evidence may be used to strengthen the evidence. Then the 4th is to review your project to ensure it is both credible and feasible. And for this, the reviewers, if you're not convinced what is being proposed, you have to explain why and suggest specific ways to strengthen the credibility and feasibility. And if coherence or concision are the problem, then suggest how the author can improve these. So these are already here, but I would also like to point out that you do not need to worry, because when you go to peer grade and when you start doing your peer reviews, you will see that they already have the instructions, concise instructions for the reviewers. So you can follow that on PeerGrade, and you can easily give your feedback. And we also have the other sessions, that is, as I said, the daily lightning sessions with Francois and Charlotte. And these sessions would help you share your experience and discuss activities in the Peer Hub. And it's held at 6 p.m. Geneva time from Tuesday to Friday throughout the exercise, and the duration is 30 minutes. So again, if you cannot join, what you can do is go to the video recordings in learning.foundation in the resources, and you will find everything. That is the main platform to find everything. And do not suffer in silence. And as I said, the Scholar team is here to support you. So please reach out to any one of us or your alumni, Scholar alumni or peers, and you can take help from any one of us. Your peers are also extremely great. Everybody is really helpful and supportive. So don't feel shy to reach out. So we'll begin with the participant presentations. And what we're going to do is basically the presentations are going to be for 5 minutes, and we're going to invite the scholars to present and to share the screen if it's possible and show us one peer's project that they have peer reviewed. And we would also like to ask the scholar to tell us in their presentation about, and it should be brief, that what the author's challenges, what is the specific goal, what are the proposed steps, action steps, and to explain what feedback they've given to the author and how would this feedback help the author improve his or her project. So I would like to invite scholars to raise their hands. And I would firstly like to invite Martha. Martha Nego. Martha, would you please unmute your mic? Welcome, Martha.
Thank you, Shalini. Hi, everyone.
Great to have you here. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon.
Yeah, Shalini. Okay.
So, would you
please, can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, I will stop sharing my screen and you can present. So Martha is going to present and show us how she did the peer review of one of her peers' projects. So she'll guide you through, take you through the presentation.
Okay, please, can you see my screen?
Yes, Martha, we can.
Okay, so I'm signing in into PeerGrade. So here we are in PeerGrade. So I click on review. Okay. So I'm on review. Yeah, I will check on the project that we sent for peer review. So I've already peer reviewed 1 and 2. So I have 3 left. So I'll do that one now. And then depending on my internet connectivity, I can do that offline or online. So but yeah, I would like to work online. So when I normally when if my connectivity is good, once I click here on review, this one should generate a preview. Or if it's delaying, I can always click here. And on my right, we have the rubric, as Shalini was saying, here. on P-Grid. So if you don't have the P-Grid rubric you use for developing your initial project handy, you can still come here and you will find the rubric. This is the rubric here. Find it on the right-hand side of P-Grid. So this is taking a bit longer, but I already copied it.
Martha, your voice is breaking. I think at least I can't hear you. Oh, I think we have lost. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, not at all. No problem.
Okay,
Go ahead, Martha. Go ahead, Martha.
Okay. Thank you. Let me. Okay. Liz, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so I ended at a level of displaying where the rubric can be found on the per grade app. So we have the rubric here on our right. So as for my author's challenge, my author's challenge was the chances of exposure to COVID-19 to staff and clients may increase due to poor adherence of prevention of COVID-19 guidelines, and this may create fear that may result to increase of vaccination dropout. And the goal was to decrease chances of exposure. So according to my review, this is just my point of view. It's not a rating or I'm trying to grade the author. It's just my point of view. So I have worked with this offline. So I read through the justification, and then I had this, that the challenge and the goal supported by justification, but require major improvement. And to others who are still to start, once you click on any of these figures, these ratings here, this dialog box for comment will pop up. So I type my comment somewhere and I'll paste it there and I'll read it for everybody. So I'm pasting my comment that I've typed somewhere, and my comment begin from much for this piece of work, suggestions that I think improve the work. The suggestion first is on the title. My author said 2 chances. I think to decrease chances does not really reflect the title, so
Martha, we seem to have lost you now again. Martha, can you hear me? Martha is still there, I can see, but looks like.
Yeah,
hello.
I'm back. Sorry for the today. Okay. So I was suggesting that the challenge should probably be the high probability of staff and clients getting infected due to non-adherence of COVID-19 guidelines, and the goal, which we saw is already decreased. We saw that it's too broad, but maybe the author could have added something, a strategy that he or she thinks that can decrease the infection, because talking of exposure, normally they are working in a health setting, they are already exposed, so should be talking about being infected.
Could you repeat
So
that? We couldn't hear you clearly.
Oh, the line is breaking.
Yeah, just the goal. Yes.
Oh, okay. For the goal, I said to decrease was a bit broad because already we know that from the title that is to decrease, but maybe the author should attach the strategy that he or she thinks that it will be used to decrease the probability of staff and clients being infected, and to also change the word exposure because they're already exposed working in a health facility milieu. And then for monitoring progress, for the justification, I also had something to talk about the justification. And for monitoring progress, I also suggested that the author should support his or her claim with some data before and during the pandemic, so that the author will be able to monitor if more clients are using the facility, less are being infected, immunization coverage is improving, and stuff like that. And that is how I finished with the part 1 and went to the part 2. For the part 2, I had also my appreciation for the part 2 based on the action plan that the author presented. So the action plan to me also requires some improvements, which I'll copy and paste in my dialog box, in the comment box.
Right.
So, yeah. The author also for such an action, but I was suggesting that the author, because the author used headings such as objectives, tasks, success criteria, time frame. So I was giving some headings that could match up and how to reframe what he or she has written as action there.
Right. Great.
And then to move to, I think the author needs some major improvement for referencing, and I'll copy my comments there. I copy my comments there. The author could improve on the work by making some in-text citations. Because all along, even from the level of the justification, when he was prioritizing the challenge, he did not do any in-text citation. But we'll find out that at the end, he acknowledged sources of information. So we don't know which information matches to which author. So, right. And then for the credibility, I think the credibility, the author did some work to see that the goal matches with the action, but the author needs some minor adjustment to be done. That is the good thing about the action. One out of 2 of the action that the author cited is already being implemented, showing that there is already resources that has been secured for these actions to take place. So it's just one action that has not been implemented, that is not being implemented. So I think if the author could have some data to back up his claim from the justification, so that he could monitor progress on that can improve on the work. And also the author did not really link his success, how success will look like with the immunization guideline for COVID in the country. So I think if all this could be put together, the author work can be improved. And I say thank you, as I've also learned from your work, and glad to know that you have the well-being of your colleagues. So I'll go further to submit my feedback by clicking here. And this I have. So I just want to add one thing. If maybe I sleep overnight before the deadline of Friday and realize that there is something I had to add as a constructive feedback to my author's work, I can still come here and open this work, or let's say I take project 2. I take project 2 and maybe I want to add something there. Maybe I want to add something in the comment section. I can add, I can add in the comment section here, and then I scroll down, and here I will see save feedback. So I will click there and I save feedback, and that will be done to upgrade what I earlier had as feedback for my pay. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent presentation, Martha, and I'm sure all of you found it extremely useful to see how to submit the peer review, and Martha showed you live, and she submitted 2 peer reviews, but she hadn't submitted the third, and that's what she was demonstrating. So I would like to now invite the scholars to write in the chat box if they want to offer any feedback to the reviewer, that's Martha. And I would also like to invite Francois to give his feedback on what he thought about the peer review that Martha conducted. So over to you, Francois, welcome.
Whatever time it is, I'm glad to be here and to try to provide comment, but as you imagine, it's a fast feedback because my first encounter with a review and with a peer review is now, and I have to digest a lot of details and useful details and see where I could complement, like if I was a second reviewer, what I would add to Martha review, which was a great analysis. I would like to go back to the presentation.
So Martha, sure. Martha, could you share your presentation again, please?
Especially the work of the scholar, yeah. And maybe my first general comment, you know, you working in an hospital. Now your responsibility is to deal with primary health care, but you work, I suppose, in the hospital itself. Am I correct, Martha, on what I analyze when I comment?
Yes, Francois, you're right.
So when you're a private nurse in an hospital, you have some responsibility. And I was wondering if all the challenge and the action taken were based on the responsibility of the scholar who presented the project, or was she going beyond her responsibility to address general issue in the area where she is working? And I would suggest her to focus on what she can do at her level to do better on the objective that she has set. So she was quite very specific in the action, but she should, as you mentioned, she needed to have more specific objective. And the specific objective, she wanted to be sure that all the staff and the health staff and the client are protected. So objective, I would suggest her to say, where are you now? Is only 50% of the staff in the hospital protected, in the health center hospital protected, and you want to reach 80%? Then it becomes a measurable goal. As it was, the decrease was not specific enough. We don't know where you're starting from and where you're arriving. So I would suggest that she tried to get some information where she is today and where she hopes her contribution with her project will be after 2 months or 3 months. That for me is an important complement, and I'm adding to what Martha has raised anyway as a specific of the objective. The second point will be on the implementation of the action plan. We need maybe to follow a bit the model and the grill and the rubrics. What you said in your first column is an objective, but the objective is not measurable. So it says it's okay to set an objective, but what would, I know that you put the success criteria, I would suggest, but could you say what are you going to do? What's your objective? How many people you're going to train? For example, you expect to train. Because becoming aware, how you're going to measure that knowledgeable, what will be the measurement that you have done that. So sensitize clients is a strategy. achieving having clients sensitized. You start from one level, and I would suggest you use the person to reach another level. If we go down, sorry, I would say the actions were very well taken, and I would have suggested the sensitize was a strategy, and I would have put the action what you have listed as task. Train staff on COVID, health talks on clients, it means a woman on cover, installing poster, and each of those critical actions are excellent, excellent task. What I think we expect in your project, and looking at where you are working and your responsibility, what are the tasks you're going to put to implement those actions? You know, what is written task, I would call it action. And then you need, in the second column, to detail the task, who will do what and when, that you can measure the implementation of the tasks that will help your activity to happen. And nothing prevents you to take 2, 3, or maybe 4, but I think it's important to prioritize what you can do at your level, which is your level of responsibility, and what is your priority to contribute to the overall, to the objective you want to achieve in your hospital or in the area you serve if you are in charge. Try not to give objective to people you are not responsible for at the country line. So it's very important to be much more specific here, I would say, to the writer on the task and the task you're going to do to implement. I would stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francois. Thank you, thank you. And thank you so much, Martha. And I'm trying to see if there are any comments in the chat box for Martha. So just going up to see if I can find any comments. So thank you very much, Martha. That was a fantastic presentation. And I would now request Alain. There are some questions in the chat box, and I would like Alain to answer some of those. Alain, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Martha. That was quite very interesting to have that kind of deep dive into the peer project. That's really what we expect to be done by each of us during this peer review. That is very important. Like Shalini was saying, it's really when we learn the most in the scholar community, learning by reading others' work, but also learning by performing, giving some constructive suggestions. And thank you, Francois, for raising that point. I think that's beneficial for everyone. While the next presenter is getting ready, Shalini, thank you. I will just want to address 2 questions, one from Frederic Manu Anu and Dr. Mohamed Mirza, as well as from Bilkisu Uma. Yes, that's really important. We have like technical glitch from P grade asking already, sending an email to saying that, hey, go ahead and post your final project. Please do not do that. Ignore that message, because as you know, we are now doing the peer review where where we are supporting other scholars, we are learning, but also we are waiting for the peer review to end, like Shalini showed today, like on the next Friday, 11:59 p.m. Geneva time. Then we will have automatically the comment received from our colleague to help to contribute to improve our work. So please ignore that email. It was a technical glitch, and then the team is working to fix that. So thank you so much, Shalini, for that. And also thank you, Frederic, Mohammed, and Bilkisi for raising the issue. Please, over to you, Shalini.
Thank you so much, Alain. I hope that clarifies. There are some technical glitches, but we're working on them. And you'll soon have, they will be fixed. So what you need to do is hang in there and wait till you get more instructions. And we're here to help you. So we will keep you posted. And if you have any other technical glitches, please do let us know, because your feedback is extremely important to us. I would also, Hari Donu has raised his hand. So I wonder if we could unmute his mic. Hari, if you have a question or are you able to talk, please? Right. I don't see the mic and I don't think Hari is able to talk. So I would like to invite Mohammed Imran Qureshi. Mohammed, could you unmute your
Yes,
mic? Hi, Mohammed.
yes,
Well,
thank you very much.
so if you would like to present and share your screen, you know that the ground rules are that you have 5 minutes and you need to tell us where you're from and where you work and briefly tell us what the author's challenge was, specific goal and proposed action steps. So please go ahead. Would you like to share?
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share my screen. So I will give quickly some of the feedback. So my name is Dr. Mohammed Imran Qureshi, and I'm working as technical officer in EPI WHO Punjab, Pakistan. And I'm also serving as a team lead for the Geneva Learning Foundation for the Scholars of Pakistan. So thanks for providing this opportunity, but really, you know, at times we have to manage things together. I mean, right now we are like running our mid-level managers training course at 3 venues in Punjab, and you know, COVID context. So especially these mid-level managers